Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of the Daily D. And today's topic is, and it's a concept called autosuggestion. Now, autosuggestion is basically, very simply put, repeating something so much to yourself that eventually you believe it. You know, if you were to tell yourself or speak aloud rather a lie, eventually you will believe it. You know that for a fact because maybe in the past you've heard or maybe you've said a lie, maybe a little white one, that you said so many times and repeated so many times that eventually you believe it. And because you believe it, you're like, hey, is that really true? Did that really happen? Did we really do that? Did I really get that? Did that? You see, that happens all the time. It's called autosuggestion. Now, autosuggestion is such a powerful force because what it does is it tricks your mind into believing something is possible. And many of us go through life telling ourselves things out loud, some cases, that maybe aren't the most, let's say, positive or beneficial. You know, we tell ourselves things that are just negative, right? I'll never have this. I could never become that. I will never get. You see, we say those things all the time because we don't believe they're for us. And because we don't believe they're for us, we constantly remind ourselves why they're not. Right? I'll never get in shape. I'll never have $1 million. I'll never become a business owner. I'll never. Now, sometimes you may find yourself thinking contrary. You could say, I can be a millionaire. I can own a business. I can lose weight. I can do those things. You see, sometimes you'll find yourself do that and you'll get really pumped and then it just goes away. You see, autosuggestion is the method by which you can trick your mind into believing something is possible. And if you really do this right, you can trick your mind into believing anything. And I know that for a fact because for many years, I automatically have told myself things that I want to happen in my life. And I've done this for years without really knowing the concept until I read a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And that is somewhat of the Bible for success. And Napoleon Hill uses this term. He's the guy who coined the term autosuggestion. And it's basically telling yourself something you want to have in your life over and over again. Now, the reason I wanted to talk to you about autosuggestion is because in order for you to have an autosuggestion that's positive, you have to, of course, know what you want to say. You have to say it over and over and over again. And most people have autosuggestions in their minds already. The challenge is that it's randomness in thought, or it's something that was ingrained in them from a kid. For an example, an autosuggestion could be, I suck at math, I suck at math, I suck at math, I suck at math. And why is that? Because somebody early on in life may have said, you probably suck at math. And they could have been a family member, it could have been a friend, it could have been somebody who referenced this to you. And it's what it is, right? Just over and over and over again. Some people have autosuggestions about being single. I'll never find the right guy, I'll never find the right girl, right? Some people, I'll never be a manager, I'll never be a leader, I'll never be a business owner, I'll never be a parent. You see, all these things are auto-suggested in our mind. So I wanted to give you some positive auto-suggestion thoughts, and hopefully you can tweak and critique and make something that is very beneficial to your future. You see, what you speak into the world is what will come back to you. If you speak, I want to be a business owner every single day, it will become true. If you speak, I will want to be a millionaire, it will come true. Just say it often enough and you'll believe it. You know why? Because your mind will find ways to make it true. It will. It's very miraculous, if you will, but you have to have faith in that. But it does happen. And I've seen it firsthand in my life many times over, where I said something and I made it happen. One of them is marrying my wife, right? That was something I auto-suggested. I want this, I want this, I want this. I'm going to find the perfect woman, and this is her. You see, that's auto-suggestion. Opening my first business was a bar. You see, when I thought about that bar, I dreamed about that bar. I wanted to have a bar. I said that from the moment I was 18. And by 23, I owned a bar with no money down, no money out of my pocket, right? No experience. None of that was in my favor. The only thing that worked in my favor was my auto-suggestion. I will own a bar. I will own a bar. I will own a bar. And because of that, I spoke that into the world, and the universe heard me and put me in the right place at the right time and gave me an opportunity, and somebody who believed in me and said, let's do it, and gave me the opportunity to own that bar. That was my first business. You see, that was what I wanted. That's what I wanted to do. it's kind of crazy how that came into my life without even, and let me tell you, if you don't believe, at 18, I said I wanted to own a bar. I used to have a little bar behind my house that it wasn't a bar to make money. It was a bar to party. And I built that thing. Well, it wasn't built. It was a room that we had, a storage room. And I converted it into a small bar at the age of 17 with one of my best friends. And we opened it up and we ran it like a bar. We had a DJ every night. We had beer and alcohol. Obviously I was underage, but this is something we did. And because of that aspiration, I said, I want to own a real bar one day. I want to own a real bar one day. I want to run a real bar one day. I want to, you know, that was crazy, right? Another auto suggestion. I'll give you one more example, and then I'm going to get on to how you can do this, right? You know, when I was about 19 or 20, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, but I knew I wanted to own a bar, right? But then that was around 2004-ish, 2005. And one of the biggest things that was booming back then was real estate. And I remember telling myself, man, I wish I could own real estate. You see, I wanted to be a real estate owner, and I didn't realize how I was going to do it. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I kept on saying, I want to own real estate. I want to own real estate. I want to own real estate. And one day I'm at a party, gathering of friends, high school friends. And one of my buddies comes up to me and he says, man, what are you focused on? What are you doing these days? And I'm like, dude, I don't even know what I'm doing. He said, what do you want to do? And I go, well, I know I want to own real estate. And he says, why don't you get your license? I said, I never thought of that. A year later, I get my license. Okay. A year later, I get my license. And I continue to tell myself, I want to own real estate. I want to own real estate. I want to own real estate. I wasn't a very good real estate agent, but I knew I had my license, and I learned a lot. And so the market crashed a year into my license. And all I got to do is just work on bank documents to help banks foreclose property. That's all I did. But in that process, I learned a lot about real estate. And just 3 short years later, I owned my first property, first commercial property. I didn't even go to residential. I went to commercial. I thought I was going to own a bunch of homes. Went to commercial first. You know what happened? 2 months later, I owned my second. I told myself I was going to do it. I kept on saying it over and over and over and over again. It is the craziest thing. So here's some auto suggestion for you, right? Let me tell you something. If you really want something in your life, speak it out loud. And the way you do that, just to be clear, you can't do randomness and thought. You can't just say, well, today I want to be a millionaire, and tomorrow I want to be thin, and the next day I want to do this, and the next day I want to do that. That's not how this works. You actually have to say the same thing over and 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 over again. And the way you do that is by writing it down. Now, if you've watched one of my previous videos, I talked about journaling, and journaling is such a big part of this, because what you write is what comes true. And once you write it, you must speak it. You must say it out loud. And that's it, right? I want to be a millionaire. 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 And then eventually changes due to auto-suggestion. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. And then eventually changes to, I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. Now, by the way, if these goals, what I'm speaking right now is a little high for you, fine, that's fine. You don't have to, although I wish you would, you don't have to shoot for the stars. But if you do, shoot for the moon. And if you miss it, you'll be among the stars, as they say. I think Les Brown says that. But think about auto-suggestion as you live your life. I want to raise great children. I want to raise great children. I want to raise children. Okay, and then it's going to change to, I want them to be smart. I want them to be smart. I want them to be smart. Oh, and then you can say, I want them to be a doctor. I want them to be a doctor. I want them to be a doctor, right? It's going to eventually happen. I promise through auto-suggestion this will happen. Now, I share this with you because I've probably shared this a few times with you, but the belief in this is so powerful. My belief in this is so powerful that I know it can change somebody's life. I know through the power of saying something repeatedly, it will become true, because I know through the power of auto-suggestion, what you will do is you will speak reality into the world. It's crazy. And I'm seeing it today, by the way. For the last 6 years, I've said, this insurance company that I've started, Freedom Insurance, will eventually be part of Liberty Tax, will eventually be part of Liberty Tax, will eventually be part of Liberty Tax. Right now, we're in this process of being acquired by a publicly traded company. Man, I said it, and I said it, and I said it. And if you go back to all my videos from day one, I've said it. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And it's happening. You should hear some of my new ones. By the way, last one. Go back, if you're part of our company, just to be clear, because this could be anybody watching this, but go back, look at our vision statement that was written 3 years ago. And I wrote it. We will be the largest financial services company in the country by 2025. 5 years. 5 years. 5 years from today. I wrote this 3 years ago in 2017. 5 years. Now, the reason I say this is today we're only in 150 stores. The partnership with Liberty Tax will be in 3,000 over the next 5 years. Boom. I just said it. I want you to say that. I want you to know this, because as a man thinketh, so shall he become. Think about autosuggestion. Tell yourself something great today. Write them down, read it out loud every single day. And I promise you, without question, it will become true, because what you speak will become your reality. I wish you success, happiness, health, and most importantly, our new word, freedom. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.